Hey everyone, I'm Ari here with Rachel, and we're your hosts for the Merry Writer podcast. This week we're on episode 249, and we're asking, what colours do you associate with writing? Or with your writing, I should say. Before we start, if you enjoy the show, consider checking out our coffee page. You can follow the page for free as we have plenty of goodies for all. If you're feeling generous, a one-off donation will get you access to even more treats, or you could become a Merry Writer for just $2 a month. For this, you get access to all the items in our shop, including exclusive goodies, as well as access to monthly bonuses, all while helping to support our podcast. If this is not your style, but you still enjoy the podcast, then please do subscribe wherever you're listening if you haven't already, and do consider dropping us a like on YouTube. We are ushering in 2025, or at least we will be when you actually hear this episode. We're actually recording it in September. We hope you had a really great new year and that you have awesome things planned for the next 12 months. But enough of that. Okay, we thought we would start this first episode of the year with something a little silly, namely discussing colour association with your writing. Honestly, maybe you don't actually associate colour with your stories, but me and Rachel, we're big into colours, whether it's sticky notes, pens, binders, and we do associate things with colours. So this could literally just be an episode for us. We even had a discussion last year regarding what colour represents each month of the year, and we totally argued about it because Rachel is totally wrong about everything she said.
I am not wrong. I think we were arguing about it on Instagram too.
We were, yes, and it was upsetting.
So it's public for everybody.
I think it started off with like colours for subjects in school. What colour was a subject? And then it moved to months. And yeah, it just got out of hand.
Yeah, but I don't even know why we started talking about that on Instagram.
Wasn't there an episode where we mentioned something about colour, or was it we were chatting and something came up about, I think it was a random comment that blew out of control.
I don't even remember.
No.
I just know you're wrong.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rude.
But you said it first. You're throwing shade at me first.
The person who throws it first is always right.
No, that is not how. No, that's not how this works.
Anyway, let's get on to it. Okay, so we're talking different things. You've got colours for each creative writing stage. You might have one for outlining or for writing or editing, or you might have colours associated with a specific novel or series. I have both of those. So I am going to run through mine very quickly, and then Rachel's going to probably scoff at it. But when it comes to creative writing stages, because I use Scrivener, I mark my scenes. Remember, scenes, not chapters. I mark my scenes with coloured flags, and that is my visual cue. So when I'm just writing, it stays with the little, like, it's like a little file picture icon. When I get to almost completed, there might be a lot of notes, lots of brackets saying like name, location. There might be areas where it's like need to describe, and definitely a lot of questions. But overall, the scene is written, it gets a white flag. When I have resolved most of the issues, then it gets a red flag. When it's ready for my alpha, it takes a lot longer, that gets a green flag. And finally, when I put through all of his edits and then re-edited it and it's ready for betas, it gets a blue flag. Every now and then a purple flag makes an appearance if it's like, do I need to cut this whole scene? And then they linger for a long time until I make a decision. But yeah, those are my creative writing stages and how I color code. So Rachel, what about your creative writing?
I don't even know what you just said. We wrote our notes on like pieces of paper instead of on our Google Docs so that we could like argue blindly about this for you guys. So wait a minute, because I did it as if like first you have like the project prep, and that's research, and that's outlining. That's purple.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine, because I don't color code that, but I want to know your process. So we're still okay. We're still okay.
Okay. And then when you get into the actual creative process, like writing, like that, the creative process overall is like a dark blue. But when I'm actually writing and rewriting, it's like a light blue. And then when I'm editing, it's red, sometimes pink. I go back and forth. Ari's making faces at me. And then when I have to do like business, admin type of stuff, that's green. Publish prep, like formatting and like hiring a book cover designer, all that fun stuff. That's yellow, which sometimes gold because yellow is hard to see. And then when it comes to marketing, that's red. That's all I got.
I agree with red and marketing.
Thank you.
The fact that you have all the colors of the goddamn rainbow And you're picking dark blue and light blue and dark green and light green.
Because no.
It's like, seriously, where was orange? Where was orange? Was it not light green? What was it? There was another.
Well, oh, for editing, I like to associate editing with red, but I use pink a lot because marketing is red.
Yes.
So it's kind of difficult because I picture both of them as red, but then I get confused about what I'm doing. So editing is sometimes like pink.
Yeah, you would need to separate.
Yeah.
When you're editing with a pen, you don't red pen it, you pink pen it.
I use all colors. I rainbow edit. I use all colors when I edit because I assign each thing of my edits to a color. Like character development is blue, like grammar and typos is red, setting is green, world building is orange. Yeah, like so on and so forth.
I'm sorry. World building is orange and character
Yes.
development is blue. No. Plot
Yes.
overall arc, that is your blue. Green is
No.
definitely world building. Where are you getting orange? Orange should be character. What is this? This is
Orange. No. Orange for world building, because when I think of world building, I think of like a sunrise over the world.
right. So you're thinking of a sun,
Yeah.
which is not part of the world. It's another
It's
celestial body out there.
It
and that's the
works.
color you pick.
When you're in the world, you can see the sky and you can see the sunrise, and sometimes it's orange.
Unless you're writing a sci-fi and it's blue or green.
I don't write sci-fi, so ha.
No, that's upsetting. This is why we are not allowed to talk about this too often, because we get
It's nope, not at all. But also to go back to your thing, you were saying like why light blue and dark blue? Blue is just my favorite color and it's part of my brand. So when I think of writing, I just always associated blue with writing.
I get that because purple's my favorite color. So like the first big series that I started, that was always purple. And a lot of which is weird, I don't use the purple flag very often. I think it's because I would just use it for everything. So I had to relegate it to the back and only use it for like special things because otherwise I would just use the purple flag constantly.
I actually have to make like a little side note and go off on a tangent for a second. I actually started using the icons on Scrivener after we talked about using Scrivener in a previous episode. Ari was mentioning how she uses icons to like showcase like the status of each scene and stuff. And I've never used the icons because I know what I could use them for, but I've just never used them. I never knew how to like incorporate it with my like process style. But I started using them after we had that conversation and it helps a lot, I gotta say.
It really does.
I don't know why I didn't do it before.
To be fair, I didn't use it at first, and then I saw a video of someone's, and it might be Joanna Penn, the creative Penn. I think she might have done a video on Scrivener years ago, and she was showing like what her look out. And I remember a couple of her chapters had flag colors, and I'm like, oh, that's great. Oh, I don't know, it was flags or something else, some other color. And I remember thinking, I like that. It was really eye-catching. And when you've got a ton of documents, as I said, especially because I write in scenes and sometimes there's like 5 scenes per chapter. And if you've got 40 chapters, which is what my current one has, it's a lot of scenes. Having that quick visual of like, wow, okay, I need to fix those chapters, those scenes, it really helps. Have you added any icons? Because you can actually add icons. They give you a set, but then you can go and find other ones like a little Grim Reaper and things like that.
I tried looking. I don't know if you still know where you got your icons from. If you could send me that link, that would be great because I tried looking for it, but every time I tried Googling like icons to export or import into Scrivener, I just kept getting like all these different articles being like, yes, you can use icons in Scrivener. Here's how. And I'm like, no, I know how to use them. I want the icons. I want the cute little ghosty icon, but I couldn't find them. So no, I didn't. But right now, so far, I've only used the red, the orange, and the green flag icons, just in terms of like proofreading. The red ones were still needing the proofread. The orange ones needed a double check, and the green ones are like, this is good to go. Do not touch it. Do not look at it. Just stop.
Again with the orange.
Okay, it's like not started, in progress, complete. Which is what we have on our podcast Trello board, Ari.
I know, actually,
I'm pretty sure you set up those labels, so you can't make fun of me.
I think I did, yeah. And I admit, I actually like the kind of traffic light color, you know, red when it's started and it's all a big mess, and then orange or yellow when it's kind of getting there, like it's half ready, and then green when it's done. And I appreciate that I'm literally like red, then green, then blue, then yeah, I don't know. Just sometimes a color just calls to you.
Yeah, we do have a lot of color. Let's caveat again, real quick. Our labels on Trello for the podcast, yeah, completed is green, in process is orange, not done is red. And then anything that Rachel does is blue, anything that Ari does is purple for obvious reasons because of our favorite colors. And then we have like the different guest styles. And where are the other ones? I know we have more. Oh, yeah, we do. We have a lot more. Our guests are green. And yeah, and then we started labeling like our coffee shop stuff with like different pink levels, shades, not levels, shades of pink. That's the word.
We just you need the color. It just adds nice feel to everything.
Yes.
And speaking of that,
yeah.
The next part is, do you have a specific color that is connected to your novel/series? And again, the answer is yes. I'm just going to run through 3 of mine because otherwise we'll be here all day. So The Blessed, it's weird. When I first started writing it, it felt like black because of the main characters and everything. It was very specific towards the blacks and grays. But then there's another character and they feel very green. So now I feel like it's black and green is the color palette for that. And that's what I stick with. And then Dark Heart, which obviously the one I've mentioned, is purple. That's always felt purple. Yes, partly because it's my favorite color, but it just has that nice like feel to purple. And then Storm is gray. And obviously this is not like, wow, I wonder why. Obviously I pick Storm as gray because it's gray is storms, gray clouds and all this. But honestly, I find when you come up with story ideas, I do anyway, there's a color that just comes out. As I said, I've got loads of projects on the go and even ones on the back burner, and they've all got a color associated. Sometimes it's the same color as another one, but they all feel a certain color.
They do. And I honestly, I kind of wish that we had each other guess before we revealed our colors, because as you named your books, when you said The Blessed, I got like a celestial blue in my head. Dark Heart, I got yellow. I don't even know how to explain that one. It was just the first thing that popped in my head.
Yellow. There's something called Dark Heart. Yellow.
Yeah. I know it doesn't make any sense. And then Storm was purple, like a deep purple.
I'll allow that one because obviously, yeah, if you think about the sky when the storms come in, blues, grays, blues, that kind of weird purple gray level.
Yep.
You get that nice. So yeah, but I'm sorry, I can't get over it. Yellow for a preternatural urban fantasy that's a little like monstrous, and you're thinking yellow.
Well, heart is spelled H-A-R-T, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like if it was H-E-A-R-T, I probably would have thought of like red, like a deep red. But because heart is
how many yellow deers do you know?
I don't know. I don't know. It was just what.
By the way, it's not about a deer.
Just what popped in my head. But you know what? I also appreciate that you picked out 3. I was laughing because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 things listed.
You could list your 6.
So for The Perfect Alibi and the George and Lila, the George Florence series as a whole, blue. I think probably because, again, blue is my favorite color, and it's like the first novel that I ever really completed and worked on time and time again. So I think that's why I got blue. So like the first book and just the series as a whole is blue. But the second book, The Anonymous Tip, that's brown. I don't know why. I just see brown. Apparitions Anonymous is purple. And so far my Perk Up series, the first novel in that, Anxiety, that's orange. And I think because the series name is Perk Up, it's like happy. It's like telling you to be happy, so that's where the orange came from. Ari's making more face.
Are you sure orange is your favorite color?
No, I'm not like a huge, listen, I like all the colors of the rainbow, but like orange is just something, I say this as I have like orange Post-it notes in front of me. Yeah, orange is one of those colors that I've just never really gravitated towards.
You sure about that?
Yes, I'm very sure about that. I listed like 2 orange things.
Yeah, well, yeah, but for someone who doesn't gravitate to that color, this is a lot of writing.
Yeah. Well, there's more blue.
You know, I don't gravitate to yellow. You notice there's no yellow because I don't gravitate to yellow.
It's what popped in my mind.
I have to say, when you said Apparitions Anonymous is purple, I was thinking similar to what you said about Storm, a dark purple, like leaning towards black purple kind of feeling.
Yes.
Blue for your main one. I get that. I get that. But what you've told me about it, I would have said blue or a rich green, like a rich green. Dark.
Green.
Yeah, I don't know
Really?
why, but rich green. I have to say, brown doesn't get the love it deserves.
No, it doesn't.
I think brown's actually a lovely color. Certain types, certain types of wood shades are lovely. Obviously, there's other things that people think of when you think of brown.
Yes.
It's very upsetting that that's all anyone ever thinks. But brown doesn't get enough. So I think that's quite cool that you've got that. So yeah. I'll be honest, I don't think I would have fully guessed all of those colors.
Well, that's the thing. It's like my color coding really is just like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink. And I don't know why. That's just like, that's the extent of it. So yeah, for anonymous tip. And it's really funny. I have 2 titles that have anonymous in the title. I can't spell anonymous. I have a really hard time spelling that word. And I have 2 books with anonymous in the title, which I didn't realize until I made this list. But there we go.
Ah, that's fine. That's what spell check's for.
Yeah.
To tell you how wrong it is and then to spell it wrong as well. Because
Yes, exactly.
spell check seems to be being weird these days.
I mean, I'm getting better at it because I've had to write it down so much.
It's always when there's a word, one specific word, and no matter what, you never spell it right. Silhouette is mine.
Oh, silhouette's a pisser.
It's just like, no matter how many times I read it and like, right, that's how you spell it. The moment I look away, it's gone. It's gone, and I never spell it right. And sometimes I spell it so bad, even spell check doesn't know what I'm talking about. They're like, nope, got no idea. Pick a different word.
Oh, yeah, I hate that when you spell a word so wrong and then spell check is like, we have no notes for you. We just know that this is not a word. And then I have to speak to my phone and say, spell silhouette so that I can actually visually see it, because you can't even Google it because I don't know how to spell it.
Yep. See, back in day when I were young, obviously we didn't have the internet when I was little. It was all a dictionary. And I always remember that going, like, if you don't know how to spell it, go to the dictionary. It's like, I don't even know how it begins. Try to spell pneumonia. Go and look at dictionary.
Yeah.
I want to know how to spell gnome or knife.
Wait, did you just said pneumonia? What is that? Do you mean like the illness?
It's spelled with a P. Yeah.
Pneumonia?
Yeah. Pneumonia. Isn't it pneumonia?
You just said pneumonia.
Pneumonia.
I pronounce it pneumonia. You did not pronounce it that way.
Did I not?
You were like pneumonia.
I may have been like very pronunciation.
I was like, is that another difference between our neck of the woods?
It could be, or it could just be that I flick with my accent. So pneumonia. I've even forgot what the point was now.
We suck at spelling.
I think we've tangented off.
As we do.
We were talking about colours.
Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome back to the Merry Writer Podcast.
We are still as bad as normal with keeping on track. Okay, so yeah, we've shared our random weird colour issues. We've had a little argument. Rachel is still wrong. So we're going to wrap it up there. As always, before we leave, if you want to learn more about us, the podcast, and opportunity to be a guest on the show, don't forget to check out our website at themerrywriterpodcast.podbean.com. Now let's turn it over to you guys. Do you associate colours with your writing, or maybe the creative process and stages? Let us know your answers in the comments so we can chat about it, and obviously tell Rachel how wrong she is. Really appreciate that. Remember, and
tell Ari how wrong she is. I'm speaking over Ari.
Rude. If I had control, I would just mute you, but I can't because I have no control.
I can mute you. I can do this outro. Haha.
Do you want to do my episode? Because then you.
Bye, Ari. I just muted. You can unmute yourself.
Freaking rude. Rude. So rude. I don't even know what I got up to. Anyway, let's try again. Remember, we do release new episodes every Wednesday. Next week, we hit a new milestone of 250 episodes. Woo! So we will be doing another Would You Rather edition episode. To ensure you don't miss it, hit the subscribe button on your way out. And as always, thanks for listening to the Merry Writer Podcast. We'll see you next week. This podcast is brought to you by Writing Goals. We set too many. The music titled Inspired is by Kevin MacLeod, licensed under Creative Commons 4.0.